Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Had some brief technical difficulties there. Looks like we should be good to go. Yeah, this slide deck will be made available after the meeting. So you can review anything and click any links on here as we go through. Thanks for being here, everyone. I'm Alan, by the way. I'm here with Flag Football Fanatics. Sounds like Austin kind of gave a rundown to a degree already, but we'll go through some information here at the beginning. Feel free, while we're presenting, to drop any questions you have in the chat box. We'll do our best to get back to there. And then at the end, we'll have a time where you can use the little raise hand button at the bottom and answer any questions you want to ask out loud that you may want to work through. So yeah, question time at the end. Until then, we'll be just running through this slideshow real quick with some information to get us started on the season.
We're going to give it a couple more minutes so everybody can join. Yep.
Wish they could do the video on the big screen.
Hello?
Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Flag Football Fanatics Coaches Clinic. We appreciate everybody joining us today. Like Alan and Austin have already said, if you guys could go ahead and mute your mics until we get done presenting the slides, that'd be great. Regarding questions, we are going to go through these slides, and then at the very end, we will answer everybody's questions. You'll just have to raise your hand. There's a little icon at the bottom where you're able to do that. If you have any questions during the presentation, we do have a chat box on the bottom right. If you want to go ahead, type your message in there. We'll have people responding to those. Okay, so I'm Riley. I'm the marketing coordinator and Northern Kentucky regional supervisor. And then Austin, Allen, I'll let you introduce yourselves.
Yep, my name's Austin. I'm the regional manager for Columbus, Dayton, and Cleveland when we did Cleveland.
I'm Alan. I'm the regional supervisor for Dayton, so know many of you Dayton folks, and looking forward to meeting everyone else.
Yeah, thank you, Alan, Austin. And again, thank you, coaches, for joining. We're excited to have another fantastic season with you guys. All you guys are very crucial to flag football, and we appreciate you guys. So today we're going to go over attitudes and approach, preseason information, practices, game days, rules, managing young athletes, effective communication, additional information, and then again, we'll be answering questions at the end. So attitudes and approach. We have a positive coaching philosophy here at Flag Football Fanatics, and we like to say yell encouragement, whisper criticism. This isn't for the kids. We want you to show them a positive atmosphere. We want to encourage growth. Our organization is for the kids, like we said before. Some preseason information. So equipment. If you have not received your flag belt, mouthpiece, shorts, socks, we have sent the remaining of our packages out on Friday, this past Friday. So if you don't receive it by the beginning of next week, shoot us an email and we will see where that's at. Meet and greet. We've already had that, so you guys should have received your jersey, coaches' shirts, and football. There are some situations where people have not received jerseys. They're late registrations. We are working to get those done, and you add it to a team. Handouts. We are donating cones to coaches until we run out. So if you are interested in having some cones for your team, please email us info@flagfootballfanatics.com. Practices 1 hour before your game is the only mandatory practice time. So, for example, if you have a game scheduled at 3 p.m. on Sunday, you would show up an hour before your game at 2 p.m., practice, and then go into your game. If you're a coach and you want to hold a practice throughout the week, you're more than welcome to do that. But your parents will know that those are optional. Just make sure all players are hydrated and ready before their game. They must have their mouth guards in, jerseys tucked in, and flag belts taped and cut. There's two pictures above this slide, and they are showing how we want the flag belts cut and taped. In the first photo, you will have a little bit of slack on the end of your belt. You're going to cut that, and then you're going to tape it to the main part of your belt. And the reason for that is just so the kids aren't grabbing that and trying to pull that down, because that's not going to come undone. Game days, make sure all players have proper equipment: jersey, shorts, mouth guard, and flag belt. All coaches on the sidelines or on the field must be wearing their coaches' shirts. If you were at meet and greet and you have the wrong size coach's shirt, we will, if you let your site director know, we will be getting the correct sizing to you. This is mandatory, and there is a penalty if you're not wearing those. In-game coaching tips: find a method of calling plays that works well for your kids. The play clock goes fast. So my recommendation would be to, during your first practice, find out the formations you're running, get some plays that your kids are familiar with right off the bat, so you guys are moving along and not taking a lot of time in the huddle and stuff like that. Keep it about the kids, show positive sportsmanship. We recommend the coaches and kids going through and shaking everybody's hand at the end, no matter win or loss. And then, Austin, I will go ahead and give it to you.
Thank you. Real quick, just to make sure, is everybody okay on audio? Sounds like there's a couple issues with audio stuff. Is everybody okay with the audio? Okay, good deal. Awesome. Okay. Yep, I get to introduce you guys to the rules. I'm sure that's what all of you guys are here for. Again, just want to piggyback off what they said. Thank you guys for taking time out of your night to hang out with us and go through this stuff. We value you guys' feedback, so we feel these are critical and, providing a good product to the kids. So I'm just going to jump right into it. Introduction to the rules. Purpose: eliminate potential injuries, create a level playing field for all players, optimize playing time and experience for all players, remove any gray area, and keep everyone involved on the same page. One important thing to remember, and I'll kind of explain this as we go, intention is not a factor when determining a rule infraction. So just always keep that in mind as these referees are calling flags and stuff like that. It doesn't matter whether the kid meant to do it. All that matters is whether it was done or not. So keep that in mind as they're calling penalties and stuff. Reminder: a penalty can be called if the referee deems an advantage has been gained by the offense or defense. Pretty much all of our rules, whenever there's an advantage gained, either one way or the other, usually there's a penalty involved. So that's a good way to kind of think about it. Let me share my screen here. Okay. All right, this is our field layout. As you guys can see, you'll see the yellow. So you'll see yellow cones on every end zone. That's the start of each end zone. End zones are 5 yards. We'll go through these PATs, but essentially, if you're going for 1, it's going to be from the first cone, which is 4 yards. Going for 2, it's going to be from 8 yards back. Going for 3 will be for 12 yards back. So that's what each of those orange cones before the yellow cones are. Midfield will be also a yellow cone. That's going to indicate your first down. On either side of that yellow cone will be an orange cone 4 yards apart. If you're in the junior division or up, meaning older kids, so 3rd and 4th grade going up, you guys will have the no run zone, which we'll get into later. Those are applicable to you guys. If you guys have 1st and 2nd graders or younger, this does not apply to you. Another thing to keep in mind, If you're going for one and you're in that junior division and up, that's also a no run zone. So if you're going for one, you won't be able to run the ball. General rules, timekeeping. There will be 4 9-minute quarters. It'll be a running clock, 30-second play clock. Game clocks only stops on dead balls in the last minute of the game. So keep that in mind. It's not the last minute of each half, last minute of each quarter. It's only the last minute of the fourth quarter. Each team will have 1 timeout per half. If you don't use your timeout in the first half, it does not carry over. So make sure you keep that in mind. A penalty on a PAT ends the play in favor of the offended team. So offense commits a penalty, automatically no good. Defense commits a penalty, it is automatically good. The ball is marked where the flag is pulled. So it's not going to matter if they're extending the ball out. The ball or the spot will be marked where their flag belt is pulled. No player can run the ball on consecutive plays. For the purposes of this rule, a screen pass is treated as a run. So a pass behind the line of scrimmage, pretty much the best way to think about it is any player that advances the ball past the line of scrimmage will be considered for a carry or a run. So if player 1 runs the ball and then next play you throw him a pass that's behind the line of scrimmage and he runs it across the line of scrimmage, that'll be a penalty. The quarterback cannot run the ball. Even if he's blitzed, the quarterback cannot run it. For those of you who might be newer with us, one thing to keep in mind, the quarterback is deemed as the person who receives the snap. So if your quarterback gets the snap and then either hands it off or pitches it to somebody, that person now has the opportunity to run or pass the ball. But the first person who receives the snap cannot run the ball. They can't advance the ball past the line of scrimmage. They're free to scramble in the pocket, but they cannot advance the ball past the line of scrimmage. All players are eligible receivers. After a drop snap or a muff snap, the offense has 1 chance to snap the ball in 10 seconds. A second drop snap results in a loss of down. So if your center to quarterback exchange gets muffed, ball falls on the ground, you're going to hear the referee counting down from 10. It'll be 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. You guys have 10 seconds and 1 more opportunity. If within that 10 seconds you dropped it again, it'll be a loss of down. No fumbles. Ball will be marked where the ball carrier lost possession. Scoring. So like I explained before, this is your end zone here. Let's say you guys just scored. Your referee's going to say, Coach, you'd like to go for 1, 2, or 3. That's going to indicate going for the first cone, second cone, or third cone, which will be from 4, 8, or 12. Pick six will be comparative to a safety. So you'll get 2 points and you'll be back on offense. So if you're on defense, your player just intercepted the ball, took it back for a touchdown. That will be 2 points and you guys will be on offense now. Safety, same thing. You guys will get 2 points and your team will be on offense. Mercy rule or the 28-point rule. Once a team goes up by 28 points or more, the opposing team has the option to remain on offense and the defense may not blitz until there is a 27-point differential or less. Penalties. So these are going to be your most common penalties. If you guys can get your kids to steer clear of these ones, you guys are going to be in really good shape. These are the ones that get called the most throughout the season. Flag guarding, pretty self-explanatory there. This kind of goes back to what I was talking about before when it comes to intention. A lot of times coaches will make the argument that they were just running and it was a natural running motion. Their hand just came down at the same time that the defender was trying to pull his flag. That does not matter whether they meant to do it or whether they didn't mean to do it. That's what the referees are looking for. They're watching their hands. As soon as that hand interferes with the defender trying to pull the flag, that's going to be a flag guarding. Blocking. Again, intention is a big one here. What you'll see a lot of times is you'll have a wide receiver running in front of the ball carrier. If the defender has to reroute around that guy, that's going to be considered for blocking. Whether he puts his hands on him or not, you can't set screens. So if the defender has to reroute around one of your guys that's not carrying the ball, it'll be considered for blocking. False start. Especially in the younger divisions, we try to be a lenient on this. We understand in the micro, the mini especially, it happens a lot. So we try our best to, have some discretion when it comes to this. As you get older, that discretion kind of disappears. Delay of game, 30-second play clock, again, something that we try our best to try to work with you guys with, especially early in the season. We understand that 30 seconds feels like 10, especially with those younger kids, trying to get them lined up in the right spot. etc. Just try your best. Our goal is to get as many plays as possible, players receiving as much experience as possible. So just try your best to get each play off within 30 seconds. Charging. This one is going to be the defensive guy. If he sets his feet and your guys run down the sideline, defense sets his feet. It's the offensive guy's responsibility to make a move. He can't just continue running straight and run through the guy. The offensive guy is responsible for making a move. Defensive penalties. Tackling, pretty self-explanatory there. Something that we're going to be trying our best to really crack down on is contact. It's something that we always deal with every single season. It's a non-contact sport, so make sure that they're going for the flag belt. Illegal rush. This is going to be when any player behind the blitz cone, and it can be your whole team, it can be one player, anybody that's behind the blitz cone at the start of the play or at any point in time during the play will be allowed to rush. But if you have a guy that's lined up right over top of the center, they snap the ball, he crosses that line of scrimmage, that's going to be an illegal rush. Roughing the passer. The blitzer has to go for the flag belt on the quarterback, so he can't jump up to try to block the pass. If he's making contact with that quarterback, that's another time that they can call roughing the passer. Holding. This one kind of goes hand in hand with tackling. They can't be hanging onto their jerseys. There's discretion with this. If the referee deemed that he was going for the flag belt, caught onto his shorts, quickly let go, they might let that go. There's definitely discretion with this one, but if they grab onto those shorts and they're just hanging on to them until they can get their flag belt, of course they're going to get called for a holding, maybe tackling. Pass interference. This one's pretty self-explanatory as well. We're trying to mitigate contact. But another one that this one is kind of more so common that I've seen with the older kids. Make sure we're not pressing at the line of scrimmage. We're not rerouting the wide receivers. Anything that's going to change the route of the wide receiver physically from the defense, they're going to hit for a pass interference. What I tell a lot of coaches is, from the defensive perspective, keeping a hand on their hip, just to having a sense of where they're at is completely acceptable. But anything that's going to change the route or stop them at the line of scrimmage, it's going to get hit. And this always happens with the older kids. Substitution / playing time. There's absolutely no substitutions during a quarter. The only exceptions here are micro and our high school division. The exceptions here are kid has to go to the bathroom, kid's injured, or kid absolutely just refuses to play, which you'll see at the bottom. This happens in those micro, mini. We understand. So there's some things are out of your control, but you can't just substitute free will throughout the quarter. All substitutions must take place between the quarters. So at the end of each quarter is when you'll make your substitutions. Every player must play at least 2 quarters. No child may sit out 2 consecutive quarters. If a child leaves the game due to injury, restroom, or refuses to play, the opposing coach may choose the player for substitution. Most times, the other coach isn't going to care. But per our rules, the other coach does have the option to choose which player comes in if he so wishes. New rules. These are new rules as of last season, actually, but just good to touch back up on them in case you didn't play last fall. Teams can now play down a man without forfeiting. So it used to be where if you guys only showed up with 4, you're forfeiting the game. You can still play, but on paper, you lose the game. Now you can play down a man. If you win the game still outright, you guys still will get the win in the win column. Overtime will be played during the regular season. Overtime is treated as a 3-point conversion. An interception, while the 28-point rule is in effect, will be treated as an incomplete pass. Coaches cannot make contact with their own players after the snap. Where this one comes in big mainly is coaches with their blitzers. Verbal cues are great, perfect, but you cannot physically hold your player's jersey and then give them a shove once they snap the ball to go in and blitz. At the snap of the ball, everything has to be verbal. Players may not wear towels or hand warmers around their waists. Reason for this is it interferes with their flag belts, so that is why they're there. Division-specific rules. Micro coaches must pass / hand off the ball within 7 seconds. So, again, we're trying to get as many plays as possible. We don't want coach sitting back there like Tom Brady hanging onto the ball for a minute and a half trying to find a kid that's open. So get the ball out quickly. Micro uses a 2-yard buffer that no player can cross until the handoff/pass. So what you'll see a line of scrimmage go, and then 2 yards forward will be another cone, and the defense has to stay behind that cone until the coach gets rid of the ball. This is in the micro division only. No run zone applies to the junior, senior, varsity, and high school division. Micro only can substitute throughout the quarters. This is also high school. Micro and high school can substitute throughout the quarters. Coaches allowed on the field per division: mini 2, junior 2, senior 1, varsity 1. High school, you can have 1 on offense, no defensive coach on the field. So when you guys rotate the defense, there will be no coach on the field for high school. Micro, as many as it takes. Try to minimize that when you guys are on defense, so we're not having interference with the players. But I understand it takes an army to get those kids lined up in time for the snap. So just as many as it takes realistically for the micro division. 4 divisions that will apply to 4 downs, will apply to micro, mini, and junior. 3 downs will apply to senior, varsity, and high school. Muffed snaps in the micro division, the coach is the quarterback, so there is no snap. So no such thing as a muffed snap in the micro division. The muffed snap will apply to the mini, junior, senior, varsity, and high school. The score will be kept in all divisions. 2-yard buffer, like I said before, is in the micro division. The snake touch rule, again, this applies to the micro division. Best way to think about this from my micro coaches is like a batting order. So if player 1 touches the ball, player 2, player 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 have to run the ball or touch the ball before player 1 can run the ball again. So you have to go through your whole lineup before player 1 can run the ball again. 7-yard or 9-yard rush applies to the mini. 7-yard rush applies to junior, senior, varsity, and high school. No child can run twice in a row. That's applicable to all divisions. No run zones. Like I said before, junior, senior, varsity, high school. Possession begins at the 8. That will be for all divisions. Negative play / loss of yards. That will be for junior and up. So in the mini division, in the micro division, you hand it off to your player. He runs 10 yards backwards and gets his flag pulled. The ball will be spotted back to the line of scrimmage. If you're in the mini and micro divisions, everything up will be treated just like football. If you're down in the backfield, that's where the ball will be spotted. Substitution at any time, again, micro and high school. And I will pass it over to Alan.
All right, let me pull up my screen here.
I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions. Just like I said before, at the end, we'll have plenty of time for questions. So just write them down.
And feel free to keep putting them in the chat as well. And we'll do our best to get back to them there as well. Just got a few more things here, and then we'll get to the questions. Just the last few slides. And let's just get it rolling with managing young athletes, obviously varying degrees of young. But as a coach, really of all ages, you have a chance to impact your players as a role model for better or for worse. And really not even a chance, just the reality that they're looking up to you. And that can be an exciting opportunity. I think many of us, myself included, have been impacted by a coach who showed they cared about us in a meaningful way, not just as an athlete, but as a young person. And so this is a chance to be that positive influence in these kids' lives. So just as much as you can, take advantage of that, get excited about it. We have a chance to make a difference here in some small ways. Demonstrate that you care about the development of every player. This league, it is competitive at times, but at the same time, we want to make sure every kid's getting involved. And sorry, I'm having some audio issues here. Every kid's getting involved, and there's not just 1 or 2 players on each team who are getting all the touches and all the reps in practice. We want to make sure every kid is equally improving and given the chance to improve. Hone in on some key skills early. So some practical things here. The most important thing to practice is flag pulling. And I say that just out of experience from myself and many others, coaches, referees, people who've been around a long time. That's the number one thing that'll change and improve your team is practicing flag pulling. Our flags are a little trickier to pull than a lot of other leagues if you've played in another league before. And we found that brings really fun results. It makes offense a little bit easier and also get some good chances for like run after catch, that kind of stuff. But it also means if your team can get good at flag pulling, it's a huge advantage. So practice that like crazy. We have some practice drills on our website. I'll show you in a little bit here. And there's a few of them for that are very helpful for working on flag pulling. The other practical thing I'll mention is not neglecting the center position. A lot of times I'll see teams put their less skilled players at center, but the center is a really valuable spot. They're the player that's most frequently left open. And if that center to quarterback exchange isn't good, it'll wreck your offense. Even if you're able to get the re-snap, like Austin talked about, the pacing's all off. The defense knows where the receivers are going. So don't neglect practicing the center to quarterback exchange like crazy. And it's an important skill position. Setting team goals is going to be something obviously here in the first few weeks that's big. And we've seen really good results from coaches who have gotten the players involved in setting and reviewing those goals and expectations. So whether it's before a game, after a game, instead of just saying this was good, this was bad, or we need to focus on this, get the kids involved, get them thinking about, ask them, what did we do well today? What's something we can improve on that we didn't do well today? That helps them improve not just physically, but also get them thinking about sports in a positive way. Choose points of emphasis for your team each week, especially at the younger ages. One or two things is probably what they're going to be able to improve upon in the time allotted. So it's better to nail down on a couple things, whether that's flag pulling, center to quarterback exchange, staying home on defense, whatever that is. It's better to practice a few things a lot as opposed to everything a little bit is what we've observed over the years. And then, of course, at the end of the day, we're about making kids love football. So whatever it takes to encourage that, we are for it. Again, can get competitive, and that's fine. We have nothing against competitive. Competitive's great, but obviously unsportsmanlike is where we draw the line. So never start or escalate conflict with an opposing coach. Help players learn to express frustration and anger in the right way. Again, players are going to get frustrated, whether it's at themselves, an opponent, a referee, maybe a teammate. And that's not something that we just want to completely crush and say you should never feel this way, but we just have to help these kids learn to express that appropriately in a way that's good for the team. If there are conflicts that arise, whether that's with a parent, another team, whatever's going on, your site director is a great person to bring that to. And really that goes above and beyond conflict. Your site director is your person. They're going to help you out with anything you need. So if you haven't gotten a good chance to meet them already and meet and greet, definitely try to make an effort to get to know them as the season goes on, and they'll be a fantastic resource to have on your side. We do reserve the right to remove any parent, coach, player, or family member at any time if necessary.
Alan, can you jump back real quick? I just want to throw something in there too. One thing to remember, guys, is at the end of the day, I understand winning's fun, and just remember touching on the team goals thing. Like, no one's gonna remember that you guys were the Upper Arlington world champions. Some of my most memorable moments coaching is those players that you would have never anticipated scoring a touchdown. They catch a long bomb in the end zone. Just seeing the excitement on that player's face. So like we said before, like keeping all your players involved. The most rewarding moments are the players that might not get the opportunities on other teams. Be that guy for those coach or for those players. So also, like you said before, like you guys have probably, those of you who played youth sports, have had a coach that you remember for a positive reason. So just being that guy for those players is really important. You want to make a positive impact on those players' lives, even beyond just sports. Like just ask them about how their day was at school, and just making it more than just about the sport. So that's my 2 cents. Sorry, go ahead, Alan.
Thanks, Austin. No, that's good. All right, a little bit on communication here, starting with referees. Clear up any questions you have during coin toss, especially these first couple weeks. You probably have questions, and that's great. We welcome that. Coin toss is a great time to get the officials will already be there together, so that's a good time to go over any questions you have. Same thing like when playoffs come. Some of the rules can be a little bit different. We often play halves instead of quarters, and that affects the substitutions. So we'll be in contact about any rule changes for playoffs and tournaments. But if you have questions about it, coin toss is a great time to ask the officials about it. And then throughout the game, we welcome continued communication with the referees. We want that to be an open channel constantly. If there's something you're seeing out there that you feel like the refs are missing, whether it's a rule interpretation or just something they're not seeing, feel free to respectfully grab them and say, hey, yeah, I think, the other team's flag guarding a lot. Can you look out for that? Or their blitzers leaving before the snap. Can you keep an eye on that? I've been an official, Austin and Riley have as well, and we can say firsthand we have zero issue whatsoever with that kind of a conversation. So feel free to do that, in the right way, because we'd rather you come to us respectfully and quash that quickly as opposed to waiting until it becomes a bigger and bigger problem and then boils over into something bigger. With your parents, hopefully you've made contact there, meet and greet, but also if you don't have a group chat yet, I'd really encourage you to have one, whether that's through text message or group me. Having a text-based group chat as opposed to just email, we've seen can be really helpful if there's anything that needs to be communicated quickly, whether it's a weather delay or any changes on game day, to be able to just shoot out a text is always helpful. And then we want you to communicate with us. Again, your site directors, your number one resource. They're all fantastic. They've mostly been around. We have a lot of former coaches that are directors, former referees. So they kind of know the lay of the land and can help you with 90% of what you need or your questions. We ask that you wear your coach shirt on game day. That communicates with us who you are, what you're doing, and where you're supposed to be. I know it can feel like maybe kind of a tedious thing. It might not make sense. Like, why do you have to wear the shirt? But it helps our videographers. They know that you're supposed to be on the field, and they're instructed to they can't take videos of fields where the coaches don't have the coach shirts on, because we don't know what other shirt you might be wearing, what's on it, and they can't check all those. So just wear your coach shirt. We have a uniform. Our directors will be wearing something like this. The referees have theirs. The players have theirs. So we just ask that you have your coach shirt on. And then if there is anything that maybe escalates past your site director, you want to talk with us, we're certainly happy to chat with you. You can call us. The phone number's on the website, and our email is as well. We frequently change things, make adjustments, whether it's rules, policies, whatever, based on feedback we hear from coaches. So if you have ideas, suggestions, questions, comments, we are wide open to it. We welcome it. So bring it on, please.
Real quick.
A little additional info. Go ahead.
Can you go back to that slide? Yeah. One thing I want to touch on too, when I was getting in the introduction to the rules, is our referees oftentimes are high school athletes. We do our absolute best to train these guys up. But mistakes will be made. I've officiated for many years, my life. I've made mistakes. Alan's probably made plenty of mistakes. It happens at the college level. It happens at the NFL level. It's a challenging job. You're making decisions in the split moment. So just keep that in mind. Also, delivery is everything. So, getting in touch with your referee, like he said, wanting them to look for something is absolutely, we encourage that absolutely. But delivery is everything with these guys. We work really hard to train these guys up the best we can. One thing that does make it more challenging is having to replace new referees, which is already going to happen. But, with coaches that might be drilling the referees, yelling at them, discouraging them, they might just not come back next week. And the alternative to that is getting a new, fresh guy in there that is going to have less experience than that guy. So just working with the referees, these guys don't know you guys. They don't have any reason to make calls against you guys. So just delivery is everything with that. They'll absolutely respect you coming up to them, asking you to look for something. So just keep that in mind as well.
Yeah,
One
thanks,
thing to
Austin.
add to that is utilize your site directors, because they are very well knowledge with the rule book. And say if your refs aren't calling something and you want someone in to look over the rules, the director, you can go get the director and they can talk to the refs and talk to you, help explain the rule. Also, we appreciate the feedback, and this just helps us get better. We do weekly quizzes for the refs. We have a week a ref training before the season, so we do try our best to help the refs get better. So just if there is any feedback, shoot it our way, and we will be more than happy to show them, explain that to them.
Yeah, like Riley said, we use your guys' feedback because like a lot of times there's issues that are happening that we just don't know about. We can't be everywhere at once. And so unless it's brought to our attention, we genuinely just don't know about it. And we use your guys' feedback to build these referee quizzes. So, it helps us keep everybody throughout all of our regions on the same page because the same referee quiz gets sent to Columbus, Cincy, Northern Kentucky, Dayton. So it keeps everybody on the same page for some things that might be commonly missed. So your guys' feedback is critical in helping us provide a better product.
Yeah, that's good. All right, just a few more things. I promise we're close to question time here. First, some upcoming dates. Obviously, meet and greet no longer upcoming. Game 1, April 12th. We have Easter. We're off this week. Sunday after that is game 1. The Bunny Bowl, second annual Bunny Bowl at the University of Dayton is May 2nd. That's a Saturday. And that's the Saturday of week 4. So we still have games that Sunday. But then we'll have teams from all over Columbus, Dayton, Northern Kentucky, Cincy, everywhere coming to UD for the tournament there. Champions for Charity. We're still working through the exact details for what that's going to look like. Obviously, there's a lot of steps to go through for these bigger venues and exciting tournaments. So as soon as we know anything for sure, you will be the first to know about it. And then Bluegrass Bowl at Thomas More, also second annual. That's going to be June 6th and 7th there in Northern Kentucky. And those 3 tournaments, those are additional events for an additional team fee. So you'll sign up as a team for one team price. It's not by individuals. And they're always lots of fun. They're seriously some of my favorite days of the entire year. So if you haven't tried them out yet, definitely come check them out. There's some resources here. And again, this slideshow will be made available to you. So these are clickable links. We have the rule book here, strategies and drills, especially if you're a first-time coach. There's a packet of a bunch of drills that you can run for practice, some basic strategies to get you started. There's a playbook. We have a free playbook. There's tons of other free playbooks you can find online that are great. And then we also have a playing time diagram here. I'm going to show you what that looks like real quick. To help follow the substitution rules Austin was describing, we have this little calculator tool here. You can just enter how many players you have. So here I have 7 players. I selected 7. Punch in their names, and then you just click make the roster, and it'll show you exactly who should play each quarter, and it'll follow all our rules and spread it out as evenly as possible. So that can be a helpful thing there. One other thing we wanted to mention is if you have not completed all your coaching steps, make sure to do that as soon as possible, because that is what makes you eligible for the $70 rebate. So that is coach application, this meeting. So obviously you got that one checked off. Concussion course, sudden cardiac arrest course, and background check. If you need help with any of those, definitely shoot us an email. If you're not sure where to go, how to get that done, you will have received emails if they're not already completed. So please, please, please take care of those as quickly as possible to make sure that you get that rebate. All right. We really, really do appreciate your time. We couldn't do any of this without you. So if there's ever anything that we can do to help you out, let us know, because we very much are thankful for all of you stepping up to coach. Thanks for being here tonight and spending a Tuesday night hearing this information. Again, email us anytime. Website's playfanatics.com. Honestly, 95% of questions you might have are probably on the website. So a good place to check there first. And then if it's not there, shoot us an email. or shoot us an email first if you want to. We're still happy to answer it. Our social media pages are here. You'll see pictures and videos of maybe your teams out there. We have TikTok, Flag Football Fanatics, Instagram, the same. YouTube, we're going to have weekly highlight videos at every location on YouTube. So definitely check those out. Make sure your parents know about that because they'll see their kids there on those videos. And then we have Facebook as well, where we post a lot of updates and those kinds of things. Riley manages our social media. So Riley, anything on social media here before we move on?
No, Alan, you pretty much covered it all. We are doing those weekly giveaways, so just make sure you're tagging us. Make sure your account is public when you tag us, and then we will announce those the next week.
Yeah, we have some exciting giveaways we're really looking forward to this season. Again, thank you so much. Austin, unless you have anything to add, or Riley, then we will go ahead and get ready for some questions here.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually jump onto our website real quick and go through some of the resources that we have available. Not only that, but maybe how to find your schedule and just some general questions that some people may have. So this is the homepage of our website. This is going to be your end all be all for pretty much any information that you guys might have or questions that you have about things. You probably can find it on here. You go to our coaches tab. There's going to be all those resources that we shared before, places to, where you do all your tasks that you need to do. So you got the application here, concussion, sudden cardiac arrest course. So everything you guys need is here. There's a stat sheet, field diagram, playbook if you guys need a playbook. So utilize this stuff to the best of your ability. Lots of good stuff here. We work with OSU. It's called Go Beyond or Coach Beyond. And they do a lot of digital or virtual meetings if you guys want to participate in those. It's a lot of stuff that's like, it's being bigger than sports. So it's not teaching you the best playbook. It's not teaching you how to make your kids the fastest kids out on the field. It's teaching them how to grow them beyond the sport. So if you guys want to utilize that stuff, I encourage you guys to do so. Going back to our homepage here, to find your guys' schedules, if you guys have not already, let's just say you guys are in Cincinnati, you guys are in the Anderson area. Obviously, you guys will select the region and then location that you guys are at. You'll see schedule, scores, and standings jumping out at you. Click that. And then as you see here, here's your season schedule. You guys can filter by your exact team or whatever division it is, or full venues. So let's say you guys are Coach Ralston, and you guys can also see your full season schedule. So you just click this right here. This will load your full season schedule. Yeah. So that's how you kind of find your schedule. But yeah, like I said, utilize our website because there's so many resources. We'll answer so many questions you guys might have. Yeah, that's what I got on the website. But to piggyback on what they said, again, thank you guys for taking time out of your night to go through this stuff with us, because our ultimate goal is to provide a better experience and product to the kids. We're always striving to improve. And we can't do it without you guys. You guys move mountains for us. And if there's ever anything that we can do to make your guys' lives easier, or, usually if it's possible, we're willing to go the extra mile to get it done for you. So thank you guys again. And if you guys don't have anything, we can jump into questions.
Yeah, real quick. One thing I wanted to clarify, appreciate everyone putting your name in the chat. As long as the name you see under your video is like what your name is, we got you. You're good to go. It's just if it's anything like that we wouldn't be able to match up, then you can drop your team name in there. We'll make sure to get it taken care of. So thanks everyone for doing that. Okay. With that, you can raise your hand with the little hand icon at the bottom there if you have any questions, and we will start getting to those.
One thing real quick, Alan.
Yeah.
If you guys don't have any questions, you guys are more than welcome to go, or you guys are more than welcome to stick around and listen to these questions. Maybe you might not even think of the question, and they're going to be asked and answered in here.
Okay. I Austin, I'm having a hard time seeing the cue for the hands raised. Can you see that?
I don't know that there's any hands raised currently.
Okay, that would be why.
There's usually a queue in the bottom right. So if you guys have questions, just use that raise hand icon in the bottom right next to the end call. Yep, there we go. Chris Baranzi. All right, Chris, go ahead and unmute your mic and then what you got?
So to become an assistant coach, I saw that online. It said don't fill out the online application. It's only for head coach. I guess what do I need to do to become an assistant coach?
As an assistant coach, it's a very laid back role. There's not anything that you have to do. You do have to wear your coach's shirt, but there's not any administrative stuff that you guys have to do. Pretty much assistant coaches are there to help in any capacity that the head coach might see fit. So there's no administrative stuff that you have to do. Just make sure you have a coach's shirt. If you don't have the right size, just get with the director at your site, and they'll make sure to get you. If they don't have it there already with them, then they'll make sure to get one for you for the following week. So, yep, just coach's shirt is really the only thing that you got to make sure you have and do.
Great.
Good question.
Coach Jared Collins, you're up next. What's your question?
Yeah, how often do we have to do the concussion protocol and cardiac arrest and all that other stuff? I feel like I just did it last season. If y'all keep track of that or not.
Yeah, Carmelina, can you confirm that?
The coaches, the sudden cardiac arrest course and the concussion course is every 3 years. The background check is once a year, and the coach's application is once a season. So every spring and fall, you have to do the application. Background checks just once a year. So background check should be good for a spring and a fall, and then the other ones are good for 3 years.
Coach Collins, but to clarify, you're good to go. You're all set.
And with the sudden cardiac arrest course and concussion course, I'm pretty sure it has that on the coaches like FAQ thing page that we send you guys. But we don't have access to the concussion course website and the sudden cardiac arrest course. So it's a third-party website. We don't have access to that information. So as long as you guys complete that, just email us a picture of the certificate, and we will get that updated for you. But we don't have access to the information, so we'll have no way of you doing it unless you guys send us that certificate.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
All right. Next up is Coach O.
Question. So if I'm able to switch out players every play, or you said every quarter?
Yep. Substitutions can only happen at the end of each quarter. So quarter one ends, kids that are out come in.
So if I got a kid that's tired, he got to stay in or whatever, basically.
You do have a timeout, yeah, I mean, unless they're refusing to play, injured, or something along those lines, substitutions can only be made at the end of each quarter. Yeah.
Okay. So okay. Thank you.
But you do, if your players are exhausted and need a rest, you do have a timeout available too each half.
So the only way to switch out kids is to call a timeout.
Nope, you can't switch players out. I was just saying, like, to get them a quick break
Oh,
if they're
okay.
exhausted. Yeah, you can't substitute at during a timeout. That's just to get them a quick water break, get them a breather. If they if they're exhausted and at the point of maybe not wanting to play, or they're can't play, you could get them a timeout and get them a quick breather. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course.
All right. I think it's Coach Dave Hall, DH. You're up next.
Oh. Hey guys, I just want to make sure it just said DH. I just want to make sure you can match my name up. That's all.
Yep, I got you. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much. Great.
Yeah, no problem. Next up, sorry, pulling it up. Coach Matt Gillespie, you got a question for us?
I think his question was related to shipping. He had some players potentially. I seen his comment in there, which some of you guys mightn't be in the same boat. We apologize for any delay with shipping. There's some stuff that we're on back order. We've been working extensive hours to get everything out to you guys. Everything should be shipped to shipped out at this point in time. So everything should be either with your guys' players or en route to your players. So again, we apologize for any delay there. We've been trying really hard to get everything out as quick as possible with all these deadlines that have been rolling on. So again, we apologize. It's no excuse, but that's kind of what we're working with there.
All right. Next up, Coach Joshua Florence.
Yeah, my question is on offense. You can't run the ball with the same person more than once in a row. But say you run it with one and then you pass, but it's incomplete, and then you go back to a run with the
Yeah.
one
Yeah,
that just
so
got
you
positive
can-
yard. Is that, since there was like a loss of down, would that be consecutive or no?
No, yeah, you could do that. The only limitation is that the same player on consecutive plays cannot.
So back-to-back
carry.
plays.
Yeah, it's got to be back-to-back plays, and it has to be a run or a pass behind the line of scrimmage. You could even
Okay.
hand it off to a player, then throw it downfield to the same player, and then they could run again. Obviously, we want to make sure everyone's getting involved in the game, but rules-wise, that specific case wouldn't be a foul.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem. Next up, we got Coach Bill Derman.
Yeah, I'm still having trouble accessing my schedule. It only gives me one game. Yeah, so it's only giving me the first week's schedule, and I'm not finding. Well, if I
So
if
should
I
we
take it out to where it says like my division or everything, and I scroll down to the bottom, it gives me like everybody's games instead of just blocking off my individual games, my
Bill-
individual schedule for the season.
Bill, what's your team? Or where do you play? I'm sorry.
Creekside, Fairfield.
Varsity?
Yeah,
Okay.
or Dublin Senior. What Dublin Senior, I guess, is what it is.
Okay. I'll get with Pat to take a look at this. This is mislabeled. League Lobster did some weird stuff for some reason with some of the labeling, which we're not really sure about. So it's mislabeled. We'll take a look into this.
Okay. But see how it's only showing the first week.
Let's see.
Or do you have to? Oh wait, what did you do?
So let me go back real quick. So I filtered by the team. So I selected your
Right.
team.
Yeah.
Okay, let me go back. Sorry, it's not doing it now. There's a little square that kind of looks like a calendar at the top, like this thing right here.
Yeah.
Okay, and you can siphon between each week. But if
Okay.
you hit this right here, it'll load your entire schedule.
See, it was not giving me that.
Is it allowing you to at least switch between week to week?
Let me double check it here. Dublin Senior. Well, not won't even let me.
So you may have multiple filters active. So I would recommend clearing all your filters. And when you're filtering, just filter your team, just
Yeah.
your team. And then it should show you all your games. Because if you have multiple filters and they're like counteract each other, then it won't show you anything at all.
And then, so I did like the background check and everything. Doesn't the league get a copy of that background check once it's done? I mean, they should, right? So, so I wouldn't really need to send you like a screenshot or anything of it.
Just the screenshot I was mentioning before was for the concussion course and the sudden cardiac arrest course. Those we don't have access to that website and that information. So those ones you will have to email us the certificate. Those are the only ones that you got to email us.
I think mine were good from last year.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
Carmelina will get in touch with you if you have anything outstanding still.
I think this was just, I just needed this meeting and then everything should be good. So again, with the schedule, I put my name in and then do it. Let me see. It's not, I scroll to the bottom. It's still only giving me week 1. Oh, wait, there's the filter. Oh, it's like there's no flag there. It's just you have to click next to.
Gotcha.
Wait,
Yeah,
there it is.
from your
Okay,
phone.
I got it now. I see it.
Perfect. Good deal.
Thanks.
Of course, no problem.
All right.
What email do we send a
Thanks,
certificate
Coach.
to again?
Next up, we have Coach Tracy Wheeler. You got a question?
Sorry, we can't hear you, Tracy.
Come on, dude.
All right, try again. I think we might hear you now.
Yeah, I don't
You
know.
want
I'm
to
sorry.
type your
I
message
can-
in the chat and we can answer it that way.
Yeah, you're not muted, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Sorry about that. Yeah, we'll definitely get to your question there. In the meantime, Coach Alex Haig, you have a question?
Hey guys, I do.
Yeah. So I had a question for the micro division. So when I read the rules, it says in a batting order type from each kid has to go in order. Is that order just established at the beginning of the game? So do you have to turn in like almost a roster sheet of who's touching the ball when, or is that just accountability on your own?
It's accountability on your own.
Okay.
There's nothing that you have to turn in and set in place or anything like that. Yeah, pretty much. I understand that you might not be able to, like, you change possession. You might not remember that third player. You were on third player. Like, you're doing the best you can with it. If as long as you're making a conscious effort to making sure that it's a proper rotation and you're not just running the same kid or the same couple kids, that's the main objective there.
All right. And then there's no statistics that need to be kept for the micro, correct? And then also the last thing I had was from the standpoint of like handoffs, since they're so young and they're kind of struggling with catching still, is it okay to do multiple handoffs or screen passes behind the line for that? Or is there?
Could you say that one more time? I apologize.
No, you're good. From the standpoint of kind of handing off with the kids still struggling to catch, is there any kind of handoff rule for them from behind the line, or is that you can kind of do whatever you want on that front?
Yeah, pretty much. You can do whatever you want. Some people will just have like all their players lined up in the back, and then they'll just kind of hand it to them and let them try to make a play. Some people will line them up in like an actual formation. It's totally up to you. Whatever works best for you guys. Whatever works best for your guys as kids. With the really only thing with the like passing, especially, is like coaches have 7 seconds to get rid of it in the micro division. So just keep that in mind as well.
All right, thank you.
Of course. Thank you.
Okay. Coach Wheeler, thanks for getting your question there in the chat. Yes, so background checks are run through a organization called Yardstick. So you should have gotten an email from them with the opportunity to fill out the background check. I just checked on your profile real quick, and it looks like you're already good to go on the background check. So you shouldn't have to do any further steps, but thank you for checking in on that. Okay. Next up, Coach Demetrius Howard. You got something for us? Coach Howard, you're muted. We can't.
Okay, there we go.
Perfect. We got you now.
How y'all doing? My question is the swapping of players, does that mean that obviously that would mean it needs to be multiple quarterbacks, I'm assuming? Like each team has to have multiple quarterbacks? Is it like
Yeah,
two? So would it be two total? I'm
So it's
sorry,
gonna
this is my first year, so
Yeah, you're
I
good.
want to get that.
No worries.
Okay.
Thanks for stepping up to coach. So, depending on how many players you have, yes, you'll likely need at least 2 players who play some quarterback because unless you have 6 or fewer players, everyone's going to sit out at least 1 quarter. So you'll have someone else in there, playing quarterback. Obviously, with a maximum of 10 players, theoretically you wouldn't need more than 2. But if you have more than that want to try quarterback and you want to get in there, obviously you can do that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Sure. All right. Next hand raised is
Oh, hey,
Coach. Oh
hang
yeah,
on.
go
I'm
ahead.
so
Yeah.
sorry.
No, you're
Good
good.
luck to everyone too. By the way, good luck to everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks
Coach.
for
Thank
coaching.
you.
All right. It looks like we're through all the hands raised, unless you had another question, Tracy, in which case we're happy to answer that. Okay. Thanks, Coach. Do we have any questions outstanding in the chat we need to get to? Yeah, the center has to hike it through their legs. Yes, DJ, there's a link in the chat to the rules that you can email to all the players. All right. Well, thank you again for all your time tonight and this season. We really can't say enough how much we appreciate you. You're welcome to stick around if you got some more questions. Head out if you're good to go. Looks like maybe Coach Bill Derman, you got a question for us?
So you can spike the ball you can basically clock the ball or clock you
Yes.
stop the clock with a spike within the
Yes.
last minute. Okay.
Yes, you can.
All right. I'm having trouble getting a printable version of the schedule. Well, probably the site director is probably going to have multiple schedules for his site, or will he have an available schedule to hand out?
You guys will be emailed weekly. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it Wednesday or Tuesday before each week?
Thursday.
Okay, so the Tuesday before each week, you as coaches and parents of each player will receive emails from us with your guys's most up-to-date game time, field, and location. So I don't know if that's helpful to you.
I also don't recommend printing out your schedule, just because after week 3 we do go into competitive scheduling, and there could be changes. So if you aren't checking, if you aren't updated on your league lobster schedule, things could have changed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I see that. So my schedule skips from week 3 to week 5. I understand the Bunny Bowl is that weekend, May 2nd. It's because my schedule jumps from April 26th to May 10th. And then I've got 2 games back to back, Sunday, May 10th for week 5. And then, there's an end of season, tournament, right? Championship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So starting with the regular season there, some divisions, just the way the numbers work out, sometimes we have to have double headers on one week and then you won't have the game another week. If you want, you can shoot us an email and we'll just double check your specific schedule with Patrick, who manages the Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky regions, just to make sure that everything's in order there.
Yeah, from the looks of it, you have a doubleheader on week 5.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is like I've got a double header there on week 5. But then what is it? Is it the week after that's going to be the
Oh yeah.
What is it? The championships or whatever?
Yeah,
Tournament?
thanks for the reminder there. Yeah, so that following weekend, it'll either be Saturday or Sunday, depending on how exactly the numbers shake out, that you'll have 2 games on the same day for your playoffs, and you'll get a chance to win a championship there.
Okay. All right.
right.
One more question.
Yeah.
Is there any way I can get my team name? Is there any way I can get my team name changed to like the Hawkeyes or something
So
else?
at this point, because of the jerseys already being out and everything, we can't change the official name, but your team is welcome to call yourselves amongst yourselves whatever you want. There was a team that was the Steelers one season, and they didn't really like the Steelers, so they called themselves I don't remember if it was the Hawkeyes or what, but something else yellow. So you can call yourself as a team whatever you want. Unfortunately, we're not able to change the official team names at this point.
Okay.
Also, to piggyback on that, for future seasons, if there's certain mascots that you guys want or certain mascots that you specifically know you don't want, email us, and we take these requests into accommodation when we're building teams. When we're this late into the game, it's extremely challenging because inventory is very low. We build out teams based on the inventory that we have available, which cuts us down to very minimal, where changing an entire team is not really feasible. So for future reference, before season approaches, just letting us know that you don't want to be a certain mascot or want to be a specific mascot will help us, get you in those right jerseys that you're looking to have.
Right. I'm not talking about like changing the whole color scheme of the team or like the switching completely. Just like switching the name from like the Steelers to the Hawkeyes, just on the schedule. I don't know.
Yeah. So go ahead, Austin. You got it.
Internally for you guys, like for your guys' purposes, you guys could call yourselves whatever you guys wanted to call yourselves. If you wanted to break out each huddle, calling yourselves the Falcons, by all means. But for our purposes and on our schedule and everything, it's important that remains the same. Reason for that is when these referees get their sheets and it says that it's going to be the Bengals against the Steelers, or if you guys change it to the Hawkeyes, they know what the Hawkeyes look like, and that's going to raise a lot of questions as to why there's Steelers out on the field and it's supposed to be the Hawkeyes. And especially when you get into the tournaments and stuff, it creates so much confusion. So for the purposes of what we have on file, it's going to be important that you guys remain the Steelers. But again, however you guys want to refer to yourselves or whatever mascot you want to refer to yourselves as is by all means.
Okay.
Thanks for checking on that. Coach Howard, did you have another question? I just see your hands raised, but if you're good, that's all good.
Oh no, I think I'm good. I'm sorry
Okay,
about that.
cool.
I was just
No worries.
saying to listen.
No problem at all. Coach Florence, same thing. I see your hands raised. Do you have a question for us?
I did, and I forgot it. Sorry.
Oh, okay. No problem. If you think of it, feel free to let us know or shoot us an email or give us a call.
In terms of practice, I seen a question about practice. We reserve the facilities on your guys' game days. So Sundays, we have that facility rented out for you guys. You guys are going to be able to host a practice 1 hour before your game. It might not be on the field that you're playing on, but it might be in between the fields, on the outside of the fields. There will be space to practice on your game days. Anything through the week, you guys will be responsible for setting up. We don't rent the facilities through the week, so playing at whatever facility you play at might not be the option. But parks, open green space are all options, or places that you have, they've given you the permission to practice there, by all means. But we aren't able to provide you guys any space or a place to practice through the week.
All right. Coach Howard, sorry, I promise I'm not trying to pick on you. I'm not sure if you put your hand down then put it back up on purpose, or if you have a question, go for it. Sorry, I'm not trying to call you out or anything.
No, I don't know why. I don't think it's even going away. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll leave you
I think
alone.
I'm gonna head out anyway. Good night, y'all.
Okay,
Hey, thank you
Have
for
a good one.
coming. Yep, enjoy your night.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Looks like we're caught up on questions. If nobody else has anything, you guys are free to go. We appreciate you guys taking time out of your night, and we look forward to an amazing spring season.
I got one question.
What you got?
Okay, go ahead.
Just real quick. So during the game, on the sidelines, Is it okay for coaches to record the different when it's offense and defense, whatever it may be? Is it okay for a coach to record from in their coaching, or maybe they're behind, or they're over with the team? Is that okay?
From the sideline, absolutely. And as long as we've had coaches that wear like, maybe like a GoPro on their chest or something, anything that's not interfering with the game or becoming a problem, we have no problem with. We've had problems with people that will be, just parents of the players, and they're on the field in the back of the end zone, like actually in the end zone recording. We'll ask that, things like that we're not doing. We don't want it to interfere with the play of the game. If it's not interfering with the play of the game, there shouldn't be a problem with that.
Okay.
You must have a coach's shirt.
Go ahead.
I said, so you must have a coach's shirt on to be on the field.
No, yeah, no, I'm aware of that. I had a situation where I had been in the league for a while, and I had never seen really a coach do that. And then it was an intense game, fun, but it was an intense game. And then at halftime, it was kind of like, okay, again, it's not the NFL, it's not college, so we get it. But at the same time, you're coaching and you're trying to coach your guys up, and we're all trying to make sure that everybody, doing the same thing. That's why I asked that question.
Yeah, it's a good question, and honestly, we encourage footage and stuff like that. It's creates for good memories, and honestly, if you guys have good content you want to share with us, we're happy to share it. And I think for the purposes of your question, to answer your question, we don't have a problem with it. It's perfectly fine with us as long as it's not interfering with the play of the game. If they're getting in the way of a play, or if they're on the field, like where they could potentially be in the way of a play, that's where we're going to have an issue with it and ask them to be off of the field, because this has happened before, and we absolutely don't want that. We don't want them at all interfering with the play of the game. Anybody that's recording that's not the coach should not be in any potential where the play could take place. Should be on the outside of the field at all times.
Okay.
Very good question. Thank you.
No problem.
Thanks, Coach. Coach Joshua Florence, you got a question?
Yeah, I remembered now. So there's tournaments throughout the season as well, right? Do some pop up and then you have to put in for those tournaments? How does that work? And if you do you have to pay for those? How's that work?
So the 3 tournaments we discussed earlier are the only ones we anticipate happening this season. So registration will open for those usually right around week 1. As much as possible, we try to get those open. And so, yeah, you'll have to register if you would like to play in any of those 3 tournaments. But we don't anticipate any other surprise tournaments coming up.
Okay, so when those come up to send you guys an email, and then do those cost money then, or?
We'll send out emails once the registration for these open.
Okay.
So you guys will know about it as soon as it's available.
Okay.
And yes, they do cost money. I don't have a number off the top of my head on what it costs exactly. I know certain venues, there's certain ones that let's just say are bigger tournaments. So like we host tournaments at Ohio State. Ohio State tournament might be, priced out a little bit more expensive than what our tournament at University of Dayton might be. So they're priced competitively pending facility. Yeah, as soon as we get that information, as soon as that link, or as soon as the registration is created and available, we'll be email blasting it out to you guys. And honestly, if you guys are interested in participating in those, I recommend signing up earlier than later. We've had so many teams that, tried signing up right at the deadline or right after the deadline. And once it's full, there's really nothing we can do. And kind of how it works, to give you guys perspective, what happens is each division will fill out. So, we might still have capacity, but that division specifically has reached maximum capacity. And once it reaches maximum capacity, there's not a lot that we can do to get you in. The only really opportunity to get you in is maybe a team drops for whatever reason, which happens very far and few. So if you're wanting to participate, please sign up well in advance, because it's the worst conversation having these kids all excited for a tournament, that's approaching, and We just weren't able to
So
squeeze you in.
when do we find out if we're in that tournament? What kind of turnaround is there for that? So once you sign up, like within a week, or
I would say as long as you guys signed up before the deadline. I know oftentimes we'll kind of extend the deadline to usually it's like the Friday before the following week, I think is the deadline. Sometimes pending what the numbers look like, we might extend it to Sunday. And it might be even division specific where we extend it to Sunday. If you sign up before the deadline, I don't want to say you're guaranteed a spot, but there's very good odds of you. I mean, we should be able to get you in as long as you sign up before the deadline.
If you're
Okay,
able
and
to
then-
register, real quick, Coach, if you're able to register, you'll be in the tournament most likely. The only off chance would be if not enough teams in your division register. So if you're able to register, chances are you will be participating in that tournament. The other thing that I wanted to add to piggyback on that too is, especially if you're a new coach, you may not be aware of this, but all of our tournaments, we put your team in a bracket with like standings. So if the only caveat might be if there's not as many teams registered in that event. But if there's 15 teams registered, you'll be in a bracket with other teams with like standings of yours. So we try to make them as competitive as possible. So you don't have teams that have been blown out all season playing a team that has won all their games that season. So we want to try to encourage everybody to participate and get the best experience possible.
Okay. And then with that being said, you mentioned some of these stadiums. It sounds like most of them are probably turf. There's no issues with just regular cleats on those fields, correct?
Correct. As long as there's no metal on the cleats.
Copy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Coach Brandon Partlow, thanks for your patience.
Hey, sorry, I got in here a little late. Had some things happening with my wife's vehicle. I was just curious if I missed anything. Well, I'm sure I did, but if you could maybe bring me up to speed with what you guys were talking about and everything, that'd be great.
Sure. There's a recording that will be made available this meeting, so you can definitely go back and check that. But the big things where Austin went over the rules, and the rule book is also available on our website. So if you read through that, you should be good to go. No worries on the credit for being here and everything. We appreciate you getting here this evening. And that recording will be made available. Does that help?
Yep. Now, I do have one question about the rule,
Sure.
and I have read it and watched the videos you guys have on YouTube.
Oh, great.
With the substitutions, I says in between quarters. Now, is that so? Like, if I put 5 guys out there on offense, are those same 5 guys going to be out there for defense, or am I allowed to switch my offense and defensive players, or is it just
The same 5 will be out there for that entire quarter.
okay? All right, cool. That's the only one I had.
Perfect. Thanks for checking out the video and the rule book proactively, and hope you get the car stuff figured out.
Thank you.
We are through all the questions so far. Oh, Coach Crane, you got one. Go ahead.
Hey, I got disconnected. I don't know what happened, but can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Really quick, and then I'll be done. I don't know if you talked about this, but lateral passes. Is that something we can still do in forward pass to a lateral behind the player? So a forward pass to someone, and then they lateral. I can't even talk right now, but But is that I guess acceptable, or can we do that?
Good question. Yeah, if you let's just say so. This is kind of like a
The
packed
traditional
question.
one and then a forward one.
Yeah,
So it's
packed
like
question.
2 parts.
So screen pass, absolutely. Let's say you threw it backwards, that player could still run or pass it. Let's say they ran the ball, that would be considered as a run. So if that player next play they could not run the ball. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So if
It'd be considered as a rush. Now, for let's say that you threw it forward, still behind the line of scrimmage, or even if it was past the line of scrimmage, if you threw it forward and it's behind the line of scrimmage, they could still lateral it backwards. They couldn't lateral it backwards and then pass it. Once the ball is passed forward, it's not you can't pass it forward again, even if it's passed backwards. After that. Does that make sense? Now downfield. So once you're past the line of scrimmage, you can only lateral the ball once.
Got it.
Behind the line of scrimmage, you can toss it around all day long. past the line of scrimmage, you can only lateral it one time.
And then
Does
you
that answer
can
your
throw
question?
it or you can run it. So once you pass the line of scrimmage, you lateral it, and then
Mhm.
can they throw it to someone, or they have to now run? They're the receiver. They're not
So
a
it just
passer.
depends if it was a forward or a backwards. So if they threw it forward behind the line of scrimmage still, that
Mhm.
player could not pass it again. If they threw it backwards, then that player could pass it or run it.
Got it. Okay. Appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Coach Bartlow, do you have another question?
Yes. Kind of piggyback off that. With the blitz rule. If say the quarterback is blitzed and he's
Mhm.
within that the 4 yard range of like midfield or the touchdown, is he allowed to then rush, or does he still have to throw the ball even though he's being blitzed?
So once the ball leaves the quarterback's hands, and what we identify the quarterback is the first person to receive the snap. So first person gets the snap. That person cannot rush the ball under any circumstance, whether he was blitzed or not. So once that ball leaves the quarterback's hands, the defense is free to go. Whether that player could pass or not, as soon as it leaves the first person who receives a snap, as soon as it leaves his hands, the defense is free to cross that line of scrimmage. And then let's say, quarterback gets the snap, he throws it backwards. That player can run or pass at any time, whether blitzed or not.
Okay. So
But-
the quarterback's not allowed to run under any circumstances, even if he's
Correct.
blitzed, or so he has to. So if they line up in the blitz zone and they blitz, we have to throw the ball.
Correct.
Or run it. Yep.
Yeah, right. That
Not the
quarterback.
quarterback. Hand it off.
Right. Gotcha.
Now,
Okay.
again, once the ball leaves quarterback's hands, so like let's say you had, you were in shotgun and you had someone standing right next to him. You get the snap, you hand it off to the guy right next to him. That person could run or pass at any point in time. If he was blitzed, he could run. If he wasn't blitzed, he could run, because that's not technically the quarterback anymore. That person is, the running back, and he could run or pass it.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you.
Last one, and I know y'all got to get out. We all got to get out. Last one.
It's all good.
Um,
Okay.
when the center hikes the ball and does it, so does the quarterback or whoever's receiving that ball, do they have to be directly behind the center, whether it's shotgun or under center, or can they appear as the running back?
They don't have to be directly behind the center. The only thing is that the center, like the snap must go between the legs. But if your team is capable of running a direct snap to where they're snapping it to the back left or to the back right, as long as that snap's going between his legs, that's completely legal. But the person still, it will still remain the same, that the first person who receives the snap will be the quarterback. So whether he was
Right.
lined up at quarterback or running back or however you want to kind of explain it, the first person to get that snap will be the quarterback.
Got it.
Good question.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got one. I'm sorry, I've joined late.
good.
I've been on shift
You're good.
for both of these meets. Luckily, I was able to sign in towards the end of this one. Is there a recording of this that I could access just to hear all the information, or?
Yeah. Recording's going to be made available. I think typically posted on our website. Brandy or Carmelina, can you confirm that?
The
Yes.
slides will for
correct.
sure be.
Yeah, the
Okay.
recording will be made available on our website, and sometimes we will send it out too. If you email us, we can just email it to you as well.
Okay, that'd be awesome. I appreciate that.
Yep, just shoot us an email and request it, and we'll send it to you.
Okay.
And just for a quick reference, all this information is on our website. I know you might have to look a little bit, but everything is there.
Okay.
Thanks for checking in for as much as you could. Appreciate that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And taking time out of your night.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anything else before we get out of here? Any final questions here? All right. Appreciate all your time, especially those of you who've made it all the way here to the end. Thanks so much. looking forward to the season. Let us know if we can help you out in any way, and we'll see you out there.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Have a good night.
You too.
You too.